Welcome to Vogue's New World.
How did you start this project? Also, tell us about your background and about Spatial and how do you start to collaborate with Vogue in Singapore?
So I'm a co-founder, chief product officer of Spatial. So I started Spatial 6 years ago with my co-founder Anand, and we started as a VR collaboration, AR VR collaboration platform for the enterprise, which means that you can join a meeting from anywhere as a 3D hologram, as if you're in the same room. So that product actually has transformed a lot during the pandemic. So we realized that there are a community of creators and artists and brands who are really excited about using Spatial, not just for collaboration or meetings, but also for exhibit, raise their awareness of the brand, having like NFT art exhibit in the virtual 3D space, and have parties and celebrate some kind of events or contents that they release. So we expanded to the Metaverse for culture, which means like anyone who has an idea about, who has content that they want to sort of build a community around, can come into Spatial, really easily set up your room, bring in community and celebrate and have this kind of ritual of like amazing sort of moments with people who you want to interact with and who care about your brand and interested in your art. So that's been like a really kind of short summary of Spatial's kind of genesis. And yeah, so I'm leading product and art, and of course the management and the marketing with Gia. So I'll hand it up to Gia.
Yeah, I am Gianna Valentina, and I oversee marketing and partnerships at Spatial. You know, when we talk about Vogue and we talk about this collaboration with Vogue Singapore, like Jinha said, you know, we are the Metaverse for culture. And so we're always exploring different partners who help us expand, preserve culture, and also help, you know, find the next wave of amazing, great, undiscovered artists. So, you know, our partnership with Vogue Singapore, you know, really started that conversation almost 6 months ago. And they were looking for a home in their metaverse, in the metaverse, for their artists and to champion other digital artists in the space. So for us, it felt like the perfect match, you know, in the metaverse world. And so the Vogue Singapore collaboration starts with the September issue of the magazine. And on the September issue, there is a QR code on the physically printed version of the cover that scans into the Vogue Singapore Fashion's New World, which is an amazing, beautiful gallery powered by Spatial. So fans can access the gallery from the cover of the magazine, scanning the QR code. They can visit Vogue Singapore's website and click into the Metaverse gallery, or they can visit Spatial.io from their phone, Android or iPhone, a VR headset like our Oculus devices, and from their average laptop or computer, visiting Spatial.io and visit the Vogue Singapore gallery. That gallery is extremely exciting. It's, you know, the first entry of Vogue Singapore into the metaverse. So it's both surreal, beautiful. It has this gorgeous pink dune sand across the space. A beautiful moon sits in the sky, and it really transports our fans and readers into fashion's new world. So when you're there, there's multiple different touch points to the Vogue Singapore experience. First, fans can experience this new couture fashion. So anybody who visits Spatial.io, we have 2 new looks brought to us by Vogue Singapore, designed by the couture designer Yiming Yu, who is an up-and-coming fashion designer from China. She's absolutely incredible, and she sculpted in 3D 2 new couture looks brought to us for the opening of Vogue Singapore. So you can try on those looks. They are compatible with Ready Player Me, which is our avatar system in Spatial. Additionally, we're showing incredible work by Terry Gates. He is an AI artist. And in his piece that is shown in the Vogue gallery, we're exploring that techism even further. What does it mean for humans to interact with AI, and how will technology change us in the future? So you can visit the Vogue Singapore space, powered in Spatial. You can view Terry Gates' new artwork done in AI and purchase it through Vogue Singapore's gallery. And you can also premiere some of what's to come in Vogue's new world through Spatial. We'll be opening a new space in October 2022 for Vogue. And this is the start of many different collaborations with both Vogue Singapore and Brighthall. It's definitely an exciting time when we start thinking about runway, or how digital fashion can be represented on a runway in a digital space. Jinha, I know you get very excited when we talk about fashion and form and architecture. How do you believe that digital architecture can influence, fashion presentations, as we're starting to see in Vogue Singapore?
Yeah. I guess the key thing about, what digital architecture can do for the fashion and any kind of the visual industries is that the digital architecture, unlike traditional architecture, it is adaptive. So which means two things. Like one, you can, I think when you think about architecture, the lifespan of any building that's actually built, it is, easily decades from hundreds of years. So that means even if the kind of content or cultural, the aspect of how it's used change, like transform, like it can't really change the architecture itself, versus like the digital architecture, it's very adaptive. So you can actually design around the ideas or values or interests and iterate as you design it. And like the Vogue is a perfect example. Like the space is really built to elevate the idea that Vogue is promoting. Like we want to promote people to express themselves more and have an inclusive environment where everyone can come in with their ideas but still like read into each other like beautifully. So that's like really built into the DNA of architecture. And I think the building was designed and like produced within probably like the timeline of a month, not like years. So that means like as Vogue evolved their design and the architecture can also evolve around it to really promote the idea and elevate the brand's kind of the values and turn all like this idea into an experience that their customers and community can really enjoy and be part of. So I think that's like really special about like digital architecture. So Spatial has been very excited about and serious about designing the best spaces in the metaverse. Among the other metaverse landscape, because like we're architecture enthusiasts, particularly me, is at least very enthusiastic about like turning kind of architecture into basically like rebuilding internet with architects versus just a flat kind of graphic design. So so that's the role that architecture can play in this new brand metaverse relationship.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. And so when people scan the QR code, they can go to the metaverse.
At Spatial, it's as easy, getting into the metaverse is as easy as clicking a link. So they can do that from their computer, they can do it from their Android phone, their iPhone. Once you click that link, you are teleported right into Vogue's new world. So it really, as long as you have that web link, it's that simple. Or you can use the QR code on the cover of the magazine.
So do we need to register account to log in, or you can just use like anonymous to log in?
Absolutely. So again, Spatial is just that easy. There's less barriers to entry. And so you could either set up an account, which lets you customize your avatar, or you can click the link and you'll be put into a default avatar. No need to download anything unless it's the actual app on iOS. You can just start immediately and go as an anonymous.
This is the Vogue room, for example, that we just talked about. This is done in collaboration with amazing designer at Vogue, but also a Polycon Studio. It's a let's type name. I'm trying to join in without my account so that just to show like what the first time experience is like.
Okay.
But you join in as an avatar. Of course, you can customize your avatar after that, and you can kind of rotate and walk around. And this is the space that's designed in collaboration with Vogue and the Polycon Studio, which is a studio who's been doing a lot of amazing work for spatial, collaborating with a lot of brands and artists, building lots of cool spaces that you can find on actual.
We're joining this space live. And if you see that, so it is a live space, right? The space is always open now because it's public. People can enter from their phones or VR. And so at any point, this venue can have people walk in and out of it, which is really exciting. You know, they're charting towards 10,000 fans this week, you know, heading and visiting this space. It's been extremely popular and trending on Spatial all week. So when you're walking through it, it really transports you into this beautiful, beautiful world. I get really excited about the pink sand dunes. Now, what you're seeing in the center of this space where Jinha is the actual iconic stairway that's also on the cover of the magazine. Fans can take a photo on the stairway, visit the cover, and we've seen quite a few social shares with people taking their Vogue cover. I'll actually change my outfit. It's quite easy to change your fashion in the metaverse, and I'll show you the second look.
So this is like a custom-made metaverse, right?
That's correct. It is completely bespoke. Nice. So the space, like Jinha mentioned, was made by these brilliant architects from the studio called Polycon. It's multiple artists who work within the studio. They take various mood boards. So Vogue provided us with beautiful mood boards for the space, their inspiration. They knew exactly what Vogue's new world should look like. And so Polycon took those mood boards and for, you know, a series of weeks, they went back and forth creating various iterations of this space. What's really exciting about Spatial, though, is it became a more productive work stream because Vogue Singapore could collaborate with Polycon and view the builds in Spatial. So as new iterations of the space were being updated, there was never a disconnect of what this space would look like. As each version was built, Vogue Singapore was able to view and continue to iterate on this space with Polycon by viewing the architecture in 3D, in Spatial, ensuring that the space would be built exactly as we expected for the opening. And that's really exciting when we think about 3D architecture, how 3D and the metaverse can impact things like prototyping architecture, right? Prototyping an event, thinking through what an exhibition can look like digitally, you know, as a digital twin, even to physical exhibitions. So we were able to iterate with the Vogue team many, many times on this. And it's really exciting, you know, to see the place that it's resulted in. Because it's a beautiful space. And, you know, it just shows the promise of the metaverse on how we can start to co-create together.
You have a lot of guests in the metaverse right now.
Always. This space is very, very popular. Yeah. And as you can see, I have some new wings. This is the second stunning look by Yamin.
Yeah, that's a metaverse talk.
That's what we need. We need virtual pets next.
That's our secret feature, the NFT pets that you can carry around in metaverse.
Yeah, but you know what, Jinha, let me share my screen. I'll share some of this beautiful fashion here. So this is the second look. I mean, it's absolutely cute. In Spatial, you can also take a photo and platform that you can share to social. You can also take live video in Spatial, also can be used for social media. We love seeing all the selfies that are coming out. So if you do, visit Vogue's new world on Spatial, definitely get your avatar selfie on your runway. You can walk here. There's also some secret tricks in Spatial that are really fun. So you can take your beautiful avatar photo here. I mean, I think that's a perfect look. I feel like I'm in Vogue now. But, Spatial is so dynamic. Everything from beautiful moving video to hanging with your friends, being able to visit stunning art. If I visit any of these pieces, the other thing that Spatial has that is very unique to the platform is the ease of use when you want to buy digital art. Okay. Now, Spatial doesn't process the transactions, but you can click these links and it'll take you to the actual sales site to purchase the art. So many different artists, just like Vogue, like to include their art and they sell their art on many different places, many sales sites. In Spatial, you can connect to anything from different sales sites to your different web pages to even different metaverse platforms. We really are a central hub for collaboration and really showcasing the breadth of the internet in an immersive 3D space. So all of these pieces are connected through hyperlinks. So you can visit the sales site. If you love the art by Terry Gates, you can purchase it. If you want to support Yiming Yu, you can visit these websites through Spatial. So this gallery is more than a gallery. It's also an amazing immersive hub for fashion, for exploring artwork, and also connecting to what's to come at Vogue Singapore. Promise of the metaverse, right? Being able to bring people from all over the world together. It's really an exciting time. And, this is really just the start with Vogue Singapore. So we look forward to, artists and fans coming to, explore this journey with us as we help merge, the intersection of tech and fashion.
For those, the video, did you upload it or Vogue they upload?
That is their custom video. Yeah, part of this stunning video here is all produced by the Vogue team. So they took their collective assets and put them into the space.
Do you need to add the size of the dimensions to fit in the metaverse?
So video files, 3D files have to be under 100 megabytes, which really helps make sure people have mass accessibility to the platform. But those are very manageable constraints. And in Spatial, you can add things, you can drag and drop files. It's so easy to scale up a file, scale it down. We make building extremely easy. Jinha, do you want to add on to that, some of those constraints in the metaverse?
I guess there are a few different ways to approach this. Like some metaverse platform allows it's to ask you to download like a heavy kind of desktop client, like a program, and you have to run it on the computer. So that way they can like use more directly like resources of computer, GPUs and stuff. Versus like Spatial's priority is not always ability. So we really believe that we're building the next internet, not just like a specific program and stuff. So that way, and that comes with some trade-off, which is the constraint that you just explained. But it also means anyone can run any room in a few seconds and run like a website. So our vision is later on, like if you go to like Vogue.com or whichever URL that they're using, it could be, instead of just having 2D website, like 3D experience right away, like just by clicking that link or typing the URL. So for that, we believe as the cloud and internet evolves and the bandwidth improves, that constraint will even just go away. But for now, we're just prioritizing the accessibility because we think that's the future.